If you're going through a job loss right now, then I'm here to tell you that you will come through on the other side. I've been through, count them, 4 job losses, and I learned how to be resilient, and you can too. If you're beating yourself up right now, questioning everything, and you've lost a lot of hope and confidence, then I want you to know that I've been there too. And I believe in you as I learned how to believe in myself again eventually. Here is how I survived 4 job losses and found my mental strength again in the past 10 years.
So, my first tip would be to sign up for unemployment and Medicaid right away. Through my 4 different job losses, that's what I've always learned to do, right? So, every state has different payouts for unemployment. You can look up what you'll get paid weekly. It will never be more than $600 a week for like those kind of like tri-state areas, and then for states who pay out less, it may be anywhere between like 300 and 450 a week. And I do suggest that you take out taxes. I know that sucks, but yeah, if you don't take out some taxes for unemployment during tax season, the upcoming or next year, you will be taxed for that. So you don't want to get tripped up there. And while unemployment, if you have a family, it's really not enough to cover the bills, if you have a family. But it will give you something. And then Medicaid is important because you want to still take care of your health. I am a type 1 diabetic, and while being on Medicaid, my insulin was only $1. So you definitely want to make sure you get some money in your pocket and you keep taking care of your health. And many providers do accept Medicaid. The only issue with Medicaid, though, is unless it's an emergency, it is state based. So if you go out of town and try to get with a provider, they will not accept it because it's state based unless it's an emergency. The second tip is a tip that will kind of help you before your job loss. So if you haven't lost your job just yet, but you want to ensure that you have some cushion if you were to suffer from a job loss, you want to always invest in your company's 401k. You might want to, I think an IRA account is better, so it won't be attached to a job, meaning that you can always take out your money as you need, and you can just keep putting money in there, whether you're employed, unemployed, or if you move between jobs. To invest in an IRA, I believe you have to have at least $2,500 to your name, but it is so true that you want to be able to be saving while you are employed. You never know what's going to happen. So kind of having unemployment on top of your regular savings, on top of having money in a 401k or an IRA, will make a world of difference. The point is, anything could happen in life, and you always want to have a little additional cushion. You should be having fun. You should be going on those vacations, but at the same time, as soon as you start working, stash some money right away just for a rainy day. That has helped me through all 4 of my job losses. Sometimes the jobs gave me severance pay, but I always invested in a 401k and just had some cushion so that even during the weeks where it felt like unemployment wasn't enough, I could kind of shave off a little bit of my savings to ensure I was straight. And thirdly, I believe in God and I have a lot of faith. It is just prayer and faith that has always gotten me through the roughest times in my life. If you are not a believer of God, I am not judging you, but I'm here to say that you have to have some type of belief system that is grounding you outside of faith. You might be a Buddhist, you might be a Christian, you may be agnostic, whatever it is, but you're going to have something internal that is guiding you that will say, no matter what happens in life, I'm going to find a way to choose joy. I don't judge whoever watches the channels. We all have different belief systems. I don't necessarily think that you have to believe in God to know not to harm people, right? I can't judge people for what they believe in or don't believe in, but I'm here to say, and I'll get into this later, that if you just tie your identity to a job and you don't have things outside of that job to bring you joy, it's going to be very hard to get over a job loss. Number 4, I journal a lot. I vented to my friends and I sought community. Even though I have had unemployment throughout my job losses and some savings, I won't lie, or I would be remiss to say that my family and friends haven't come through in the clutch. They know the struggles that I've been through, and they never had issue door dashing things my way or sliding a little bit of change my way, because they understand that I am a hardworking woman who has also given love, and I've provided resources to them as well. So it's very mutual and reciprocal. And they know that job losses are completely out of my control or out of anyone's control. So it does help if you have a village, and don't be ashamed to say that you need help. I'm very stubborn. I have a lot of pride, but my friends and family won't allow me to be that way. They do things just because. And by seeking community, I also mean like check out YouTube channels for people who have talked about their job losses and how they have recovered. Check out LinkedIn. I didn't know LinkedIn would have such personal posts nowadays, but you can find LinkedIn posts or Reddit posts or different posts that discuss how people have gotten over their job losses, or maybe people who are currently going through it, so that you don't feel alone. But the point is, it's not healthy to isolate yourself or ball yourself up in a dark room just because you're going through a job loss. Seek out your community and seek out your village. I promise it will help you feel better. And number 5, through that gap, stay versatile. Brush up on your skills, continuously revamp your resume, get certifications, not useless certifications, right? But certifications that are actually going to look good to an employer. If there's something that you always felt uncertain about, or you're like, maybe I could be more well-versed in the skill, go ahead and do that. Every year, regardless if I was going through a job loss or wasn't, I always thought that it was important to get new certifications and stay on top of my industry trends, so just don't sit there twiddling your thumbs. Of course, you're going to be spending a lot of your time applying to jobs, trying to be employed, but find ways to stay versatile, to stay marketable, and to let employers know that even though you have a job gap, a job loss, you are still staying busy and productive. But like I said, just be intentional about what type of certifications that you're going to get. Make sure it's not a mindless thing, and it's things that you enjoy and will actually help you out on your next job. Number 6, another thing that helped me was staying creative. Just like writing in my journal, that's more of a therapeutic thing, but staying creative by writing poems, working on my podcast. Throughout these job losses, I've performed at open mic nights. So whatever it is that you enjoy doing, even if you have a job, never stop investing in your hobbies, your side hustles, whatever it is. But go harder, even, more so when you're unemployed, because you have this time now to keep pursuing your passions. And through these job losses, like as you continue to do your hobbies and everything, it may make you realize like what your true calling is. A lot of times it's like we do our 9 to 5s, but then some people may do their podcasts or write their poems or sing their songs or knit their blankets or like that thing that they have. They may realize they enjoy it more, and all along they should have been pushing their real passion and purpose. And I know sometimes it takes money to kick off a business or really become an entrepreneur, but I mean, sometimes in your quiet and downtime, as you stay creative, you'll realize maybe that job wasn't the right job for me anyway. Maybe it just wasn't the healthiest. And you have a lot of time to sit, reflect, and think about what really matters to you as you continue to stay creative. And I say that to say, just never give up on your dreams. No matter what you're going through in life, it's okay to dream, but not just dream, but make your dreams a reality. The point is, if you were miserable at your job, if you dreaded going to it, if it was bad for your mental health, that wasn't the job that you needed to be at anyway. And no job is perfect. However, living a life where you're truly misaligned from your calling and the job does not benefit you in any way, shape, or form besides getting you a paycheck. Yeah, it was eventually you're probably going to have to let that job go anyway. And number 7, back to that job and identity thing. I understood that a job is not a part of my identity, and no job can take away all the knowledge I have and how valuable I am outside of work. So going through a job loss, or in my case, 4 job losses, you really start to lose your confidence. But then I thought about it, like no one can take away my degrees, my certifications, all the work I've done on my podcast, all of the job experience that I've gotten. Going through a job loss, like you feel really cut down. You start wondering, am I valuable anymore? Will I ever find another job? But no one can take away your career. And most importantly, nobody can just swipe away at your identity. Because let's be honest, let's be real. It's all the things outside of the job that really matter the most to you anyway. Your relationships with your family or your friendships, your romantic relationship, the things that you like doing outside of work. There's just certain skills or a calling that you have embedded within you, a certain type of knowledge that no job loss can take away from you. I assume that if you're listening to this, you've been a hard worker most of your life, all of your life, and you've acquired a lot of skills. And even if you, unfortunately, I would never wish this on you, but suffer from 7 job losses, no one can take away all of the hard work that you've done on the job or on jobs, but no one can take away the amazing person that you are on the inside. So I know it'll be hard, especially when you have no money, you're struggling, but you're going to have to learn how to detach from putting all of your emotions, your feelings, you're tying up your whole identity on if a job is going the way you want it to or not. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it does in the comments. Let's talk about it. Number 8, I had to learn that, and I kind of briefly discussed this in other points, but I had to learn that certain jobs are just not for me, and that's probably why it never worked out anyway. it only makes sense to apply to jobs that make sense and not just out of desperation. So when you go through a job loss, I know you want to get on Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever job search engine right away, but sometimes you literally need to cry it out, take a deep breath, and write down what job you really want. I know you'll be in a rush to get back to work. You don't want to want it to take forever, but sometimes you need to write down, okay, what am I really good at? What would make me happy? Do I want a job that has a pension? What type of health insurance, am I looking for? So it's about applying to high quality jobs and not a bunch of, or like not a lot of quantity. So you only want to apply to jobs that make sense. Does this location make sense? Maybe if you're somebody who likes remote work, even though remote jobs have, decreased since the pandemic, like you have to map out exactly how you would want your career to look, the type of people you would want to be around, the political affiliation of the job. And even though no job is perfect, I started understanding that me applying to jobs out of desperation or not researching the company enough is probably why these jobs were never the perfect fit anyway, amongst other reasons. But just maybe take a couple of hours, take a day, take 3 days, take however long you need so that you can be in the right mindset to apply to a job that will be beneficial for you mostly. Once again, nothing is going to be perfect, but there are ways that you can apply for jobs that are better tailored for your skill set, your needs, etc. And number 9, throughout my different job losses, I still chose joy. Yes, there were times that I broke down, I had to vent, I was really going through it, but I found moments to choose joy and have fun, right? So during one job loss, I went to Virginia Beach with my best friends. I was low on money, unemployment ran out, and they said, look, if you can give us $50, we can carry you the rest of the way. And through my 4th job loss, the one I just experienced, I still decided to go to Charleston, South Carolina with my boyfriend for a special post-Valentine's Day trip. So it's important. And that's why I said like saving up the money too really matters, because of emergencies, but also think about like your bills, yes, but think about stashing away $600, whatever you can while you are employed, for these moments where you still want to have fun. Or ladies, maybe get your nails and feet done, or find ways to still keep up with your hair, or just buy little things that are going to make you happy. Tip number 10, I still focused on my health, and that's not just making sure I applied for Medicaid, but I still decided to work out, to eat healthy, to cook for myself, to just keep up my routine so that throughout this time I could still remain in decent health. That means even though I was sad in some moments, I still decided to prioritize my rest and getting enough sleep, and just practicing self-care. It could be something as small as putting on a face mask, or if I was struggling to sleep, just taking some magnesium or whatever that may be to help me get some peaceful rest. So just don't let your health completely go to waste. I know there's going to be a lot of moments where you're going to want to reach for a bunch of ice cream and junk food, and that's okay for a little while, right? Like, feel sad however you need to feel sad, as long as you're not completely harming yourself, right? But if you still focus on your health, still keep a routine, still wake up whatever time you would have woken up if you had a job, or a little later, right? Whatever that looks like, just getting up, prioritizing yourself, saying, I'm still, going to have productive and peaceful days, then I promise that you'll get through a job loss period much better. And my final and 11th tip is that it's not healthy to completely bottle up your feelings. Even though I consider myself to be a strong and resilient person, I realize that a job loss is kind of like grief, and the anger and disappointment can hit you like a ton of bricks. And that's okay. You do not always have to be strong in every single moment, because you're grieving the life that you once had, the life where you were making enough money maybe to take care of your bills and your family and go on vacation and do a whole lot of things. You feel like when an employer lays you off or fires you, they're just taking away a part of your life that helped you, buy your groceries and be able to do all of the things that you need to do and want to do. A job is a major resource that gives people financial stability. And when you don't have that financial stability, you can go into a deep depression. But it's okay to feel the full gamut of emotions. Some days you're going to feel really strong and motivated to get out of the house and be around friends and families, family. Other days you're going to want to curl up into a ball and cry and go through all of the sad, negative emotions, and that's okay too. That's just a part of being human. So I want you to process that a job loss, several job losses, going a whole year and a half or whatever without a job is just a grieving process. So for the days that you don't feel okay, that is completely okay. And I came out on the other side. I am gainfully employed right now. I had a lot of demands for this job. That's why I said it's important not to just apply for a job out of desperation or to make things work for you. But I negotiated a higher pay. The job was allowed me to start a month later so that I could enjoy, hanging out and having fun before I became a fully employed lady again. So, there was a point in time where I went a year and a half without being a full-time employee. I took on freelance jobs at some points during my job losses and part-time work, and I worked at retail and I hustled and I tried to do different things to keep up extra income. But yes, there was a time where I went a year and a half without being employed, and you think that would make any person go crazy. I almost did, but I was able to come out on the other side. So I encourage you to, stand with your shoulders back, stand tall, and just walk into any room, with confidence, and, be certain and for sure about what you want out of a job and negotiate. Now, I understand that, you don't want to be so picky where it gets you out of being employed altogether. But, I assume that if you're, listening to this, you've been in your career for a little while, or even if you just started, you have some skills, you have some talent. So you should absolutely leverage that and try in the ways that you can to make life work for you. Also, I encourage you to check out me at my open mic night. I have a video where I performed a poem called Corporate Haze. where I talked about my frustration of going through job losses. At that time, I was going through job loss number 3. And during that open mic night performance, it was my first date with my now boyfriend. He came all the way from Virginia. I'm a Marylander, to watch me perform. That was wonderful. And that ties back into kind of how I stayed creative and how I chose joy and how I chose to still do fun things while I was suffering from my job loss. I employ you to check that out. Anyway, on that note, this is Slept on Shay, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be in the world. And if you are not a part of the Soul Speakers family, I encourage you to subscribe, and I encourage you to seek community here in this comment section. Please tell me where you are in your job loss experience right now. Tell me if you have come out on the other side. Please give people who are going through a job loss right now tips on how to, find an excellent job or how to stay sane through this process. Because it really matters that, you just try to still enjoy life even during the hard times. I know it'll be hard, but you deserve to live a beautiful life where you're financially stable. I fully believe in you. And also, let me know if you want a video on what I've learned about the interviewing process, some tips I could give you, or ways that I could teach you to tailor your resume so that your resume will have more employers reaching out to you. Because in this last job loss, my 4th job loss, I was actually getting more interviews than I ever had gotten throughout these different job losses. Like in job losses before this, it was hard or it seemed like employers were not reaching out to me, but I started, doing certain tips and tricks, and it helped me find a very high paying job where it has a lot of good benefits. All right, I'm rambling now. Once again, this is Slept on Shay. Let me know what you think about the video. Go ahead and like it up. Go ahead and share it. And yeah, be blessed.